Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much returning subscribers for your continued love and support. Here it's a Sunday in the morning, or let's say midday, because I'm coming from church, and this was my look guys today for church. So before I started doing this video, I even asked myself, like, should I remove this and put on a wig? But I said no, I'm not going to do that, because I said I'm going to be as real as I can be on this channel. So today is a bad hair day, and this is how I went to church, because here in Canada sometimes you don't find time to do your hair, and yeah, you have to get by with whatever you have and you improvise. And anyway, I love this look. I love being African and I love representing Africa, because back home you can go to church like this and it won't raise eyebrows. So yeah, it's unique and it defines me. And you know, I can identify as an African if I'm dressed like this. Anyway, enough about how I'm dressed and how I look. The reason why I'm doing this video, it's because I want to share about my experiences here in Canada. Has Canada met our expectations ever since we came? In 2024 February, that would be already a 2-year anniversary for my family and I, ever since we came to Canada. And it's a long time. 2 years, it's, of course, it's not enough experience for you to give like a true opinion about something or about life in Canada, but I share my journey as I go so that other people can learn from my experiences. So yes, we are almost celebrating 2 years, and I was thinking to myself, based even on the kind of questions that I get from some of you on Facebook, that we hear that inflation is so high in Canada, the cost of living, so should we come? Is Canada the best place to be right now? So I thought, okay, I'll do a video and share my experiences and whether Canada has met our expectations as a family. And that's why I'm doing this today. So I'll start from the time that we landed, from the time that we came, like the first few months. When we came, my husband, he already had a job, and we knew that, you know, after 1 month or after 2 weeks, because most of the companies here, they pay bi-weekly, so you get paid twice a month. So we knew we were going to have an income. And of course, we had also some savings from back home, you know. That's why I always say, moving, you need to plan and you need to have some fallback. And even the Canadian government also requires you to have a certain amount of money before you move. So we had some savings and we had an income. But I don't want to lie to you guys. Life during those first, I can say 2 months, life was difficult. We were surviving on one income, and when we looked at the bills that we had to pay and going shopping, looking at the prices of everything that we were buying, like, we were really shocked. There was a time when we would sit with my husband and we ask ourselves if we made the right decision coming. We looked forward to coming and we heard stories, we researched. But then when you are on the ground, sometimes what you face, the reality, is so different from your expectations or from the research that you have carried out. So surviving on one income was not fun. It wasn't fun at all, and because the income was not enough. And we saw ourselves already going into our savings, because I mean, back where we're coming from in the Congo, we never paid more than $100. The Congo, they use the US dollar and the Congolese currency, which is the francs. And so paying bills that will go sometimes to more than $500 a month, it was just out of this world for us. And the groceries also, as much as food was expensive back in the Congo, But over here, food was also even more expensive. Yeah, so it was difficult. It was difficult, I don't want to lie. But after the 2 months, yeah, so for the first 2 months, in fact, we were just, when my husband got his salary, we just do groceries, make sure that we pay our bills and everything, but we were not able to save anything. Rather, we were taking money from our savings for us to be able to add on to whatever income that we were having at that particular time. So that part was not nice at all. The culture shock also, the weather shock. It's cold, like in the Thunder Bay where we are living. It's a very cold place, and the temperatures would go to -35, -40. It wasn't nice, and we didn't have a car. You know, you are coming in, so sometimes we had, of course, the people from church, they did a lot to help us to settle down and everything. But you know, it came a point where we felt embarrassed to keep on like calling people so they could come and take us shopping, and we didn't really know anyone. You are moving into a new place, new environment, new culture. You don't even know where to find some things. So the first few months were quite a bit difficult in terms of not having enough income, in terms of, besides people from church, not really knowing many people from the African community. You know, now when you move into a new place, at least if you see some people who kind of share the same culture, maybe they can show you around and let you know where to find some of the foodstuffs that we eat back from home. But that didn't last for a long time. The first breakthrough came when I got my job. Now we had 2 incomes, and now things started to look a bit better. Now we could go and do our groceries. Now we could pay our bills and still remain with some money for us to be able to save for the future, of course. And remember, we were looking at the possibility of our son going to university and paying a lot of money. So that was our worry. But we thank God, because we landed here in Canada on the 9th of February 2022, and I got a job. I started working on the 19th of April 2022. So that was like 2 months down the line. So God knows sometimes, and He writes our stories in a perfect or in a way that is best for us. So 2 months down the line, things started looking a bit brighter. The future looked a bit brighter. There was light at the end of the channel, because now I was working and we had 2 incomes in the house. The culture, weather shock and everything. And remember, winter was also coming to an end. So we were happy that, okay, at least we'll have some time enjoying the sun and, you know, the warmer temperatures, because the cold is for real, guys. Like, it hits you hard in such a way that sometimes you even think of going back home. But you find ways of surviving, and as you keep on staying here, you know, you talk to people, you learn about things, how to do layering, how to always make sure that when you are going out, you don't expose yourself to the cold. So those are some of the things that you can live with. Like, as time goes on, you learn how to survive, and you learn how to survive in the cold environment. The other greatest fear that we had when we came was for kids. I always feared that, what if my kids get discriminated? What if they get racialized? What if? There was a lot of what ifs. But thank God, my kids, they didn't really take much time to settle into their new school, and all of them, we enrolled them in Catholic schools. I don't have any experience with public schools, but we just felt Catholic schools were better, because we wanted our kids to be in an environment or in a school where God is recognized, because we wanted them to retain their spiritual values, if you can call it that. Yes, so they settled in very well, though for my teenage boys, it took them time, like, to make friends. You know, teenagers, it's at that stage where you need to learn how to break the ice, how to start a conversation with someone that you don't know. How do you approach people? Is that stage where you need to learn how to make friends. It's not as easy as it is like for toddlers or people who are younger than maybe 12 years. They find it easy to make friends rather than teenagers or even adults, if I can say that. So my youngest daughter settled in very quickly in school, and my other two boys, it took them time to make friends and settle in, but eventually everything worked out for good. So there are so many things now when we are looking back. We have so many things to be grateful for, and we don't regret like moving to Canada. Initially, yes, there was a point when we were almost regretting, but we kept holding on and we kept believing God for better things, and slowly doors started opening and they kept on opening. And also the fact that we were living not really sure whether we were ever going to convert our temporary residence to permanent residence. If you watched my last video, you guys, you know already that we are waiting for our permanent residence. So that again was another thing that gave us assurance that, you know, we are here and we are here to stay and we like it. There are so many things that you can enjoy when you are here in Canada, and so many things that when we compare, we appreciate the move that we made to Canada. Like I said, our kids, they settled in school, and here in Canada, school education is free for all the kids. Like from grade 1 to grade 12, education is free. You only start paying something when they go to university, but otherwise from grade 1 to 12, education is for free. They have buses that come and pick up the kids to go to school. The buses drop them when they come back home. These are things that we didn't have where we are coming from. We are coming from the Congo, and we had to drop our kids in school, and you come into a place where your kids are picked up to go to school. So that's something to enjoy, and that's a positive already for Canada. And another thing also that is good here is that health is for free. There is free health for all. When you're sick, you just need to take yourself to the hospital. They have walk-in clinics. But as I go, so yes, it's a positive that health is free. But one disadvantage that we've seen is that as much as health is free, but it's not always readily available, especially if you don't have a family doctor. Like for us, when we came in, it took us 1 year, guys, 1 whole year for us to get a family doctor. So if you don't have a family doctor, it becomes difficult. What if you have some medical problems that requires attention? Because you always go through your family doctor. So that's a one hold back, if I can say that. As much as health is free, yes, we enjoy free access to health services, but sometimes it's difficult when you are coming in for you to get a medical doctor, for you to get a family doctor. So it's a setback in one way or another. And then another thing that I can say Canada has met our expectations is in terms of job opportunities. I can just say the opportunities that are available career-wise, job-wise. If you are somebody who's willing to work hard, you are willing to improve on yourself, you are willing, you have a positive attitude, you have a positive outlook to life, and you are willing to go out there, meet people, network with people, Canada has a lot of opportunities, and we've seen that. I am a testimony of that. I told you I'll come one day and share with you guys how within 2 years, less than 2 years actually, of moving into Canada, I've already raised the ranks in the corporate world, and I'm already working as a financial manager, which is something I never thought it's possible before coming. We used to think that when you go to Canada, you have to sweat yourself, work for so many years, and then it's so difficult to rise up the corporate ladder. That's what people say. But like I always say, your story is different and my story is different. And we've seen that Canada has a lot of opportunities. And that's what I'm always telling even my kids, that when you go out there, go and prove yourself. You, of course, as immigrants, sometimes you have to work twice extra hard for you to prove yourself, which is not what I went through myself. But I'm just saying there are some people who tell me that you have to work extra hard, because remember, you are coming from somewhere and people want to see whether you are capable or not. And for you to do that, you have to work hard. You need to have a positive attitude and to prove yourself that you can actually do, you can deliver, and you have something that you are bringing to the table. So it's an advantage, and it's something, this is like way over our expectations, because what we expected and what we've seen, like job wise, career wise, is different. And all I can say is there are a lot of opportunities in Canada, and you can enjoy them if you are willing to, and if you just have a positive attitude. Okay, then maybe talking about also the infrastructure, it's important. So we are coming, when we came, we were coming from the Congo. And I mean, this is, Congo is a country that is still fighting wars and everything. And in terms of infrastructure, Canada, or even Thunder Bay, Ontario, where we are living, it's way, way ahead of Kinshasa, where we were staying. I know people will come from South Africa and they come to Canada. Sometimes what they see doesn't meet their expectations in terms of infrastructure. But for us, considering where we were coming from and what we are seeing where we are, even though we are staying in rural Canada, but you have access even to so many things that we did not have access to back home. So we are grateful for that. And in that area, Canada has met our expectations again. The other thing also that is very important, because we are church people and we were used to having people around us, meeting new people on a daily basis sometimes, and having our house even full of people, because that was our life even in the Congo. So moving to Canada, it was so difficult the first few months, because we didn't know anyone. We didn't have a community around us. So even our kids are used already to having people around them. Our doors are always open. And when we came, and my husband was the new minister and everything, we didn't see any people even visiting us like what we do in Africa. You know, when a new pastor or a new minister goes to a church, people will be flocking in and out to greet the new minister and everything, which was different when we came here. It was so quiet, no one comes, and we felt so lonely and isolated also. But with time, as we built a community around us, now we have an African community, we have an intercultural congregation, interdenominational prayers that we do, and that has fulfilled, you know, us in terms of having friends, having family, and having a community around us. You know, us as Africans, we always appreciate and we always love it when we meet, when we share food, cook together, and just enjoy and share. That's what we do back home. So that also, over time, that expectation has been met, because we have friends around us. We have people that we can call on. Even the church community also has been very nice. Like, we know that if we have a problem, if something happens, we can always take a phone, and we have people that we can reach out to who can quickly come to our aid, which is very important for us as a family. And we really appreciate that and love that about Canada. Canada has so many immigrants. Here in Thunder Bay, we have a big African community. We have even a small community of Zimbabweans also who are living here in Thunder Bay. So it's good. Wherever you move, you create a community yourself. You surround yourself with people that you can also relate to. People who share the same culture and values, and life goes on. So we appreciate that, and we are grateful also for that. One other thing also is that our son, he started university already, which is something that we were not going to be able to do had we stayed in the Congo. We had jobs, my husband and I, we were working, but to be honest with you, we were not going to be able to send our son to Canada for studies. So we thank God also for that opportunity that we are staying here and our son gets to go to university and is pursuing his dreams. Isn't that meeting our expectations? So all in all, I can say to a larger extent, Canada has really met our expectations. Now, about inflation, I know so many people are, and so many videos also people that people do talking about the cost of living here in Canada, which is true. The cost of living keeps increasing on a daily basis. Inflation is so high. Even buying a house, the interest rates are very high. And so many people are complaining. So many people are even going back to Africa or wherever they came from because they cannot make it here in Canada, or they feel that life in Canada is just unbearable. So what I'm going to say about that is, I think it depends on your circumstances and how you spend. Yes, the cost of living is very high, but it also goes back to how are you going to manage your finances? What kind of things are you going to buy? Are you going to pursue the luxurious life? Of course, all of us, we want luxury, but there are stages in life. So what has worked for us as a family is that when we came in, we never competed with the people who came to Canada, like maybe people have been staying here like for 20 years. Rather, we look up to those people and they inspire us. You know, when we look at them and we see what they've achieved, it also gives us the assurance that one day we can also achieve those goals. One day we can also become this. So I think when you come into Canada, for you to be able to survive the inflation and everything, just live within your means. Don't compete with anyone. Don't look at what other people are doing. Don't look at what other people are buying or the kind of brands that they are wearing. Just live within your means. Live a simple life and pursue your goals, and without any apologies, focus. And I'm telling you that Canada will meet your expectations and maybe will go beyond what you expected. Yes, the cost of living is high, but there's a way around it. Like for us, we always look out for flyers and we go to buy. Sometimes we buy meat whenever there's a sale, because we don't buy regular prices. We always look for the stickers that show that something is on sale. Or we have friends now in the community who can even tell us that, oh, they are selling chicken at the Canadian superstore and it's low price this weekend. So whenever something is on sale, that's when we buy, and we buy in bulky. And we've survived that way. And as much as inflation is there, but we are still able to save for our future and for us to be able to pursue our goals. So it's very important also when you come into Canada or any other place that you may move to, that you create a community around yourself. Reach out and make friends. Reach out and make friends with Canadians, make friends with Africans, make friends. Just go out there and meet people. It's important in this day and age, because as human beings, we don't live in a vacuum. We need people around us, people who can support us. When you come into a new area, like maybe you need to know who is going to do my hair. You need a hairdresser. You need people who can show you around, where to buy cheap stuff, where to buy clothes and all those. So that also has been our strong, area, that we have a community around us. So when you come to Canada, if you are a church person, find a church. Whatever you like, go out there and meet people, because those same people are going to help you to settle down and life in Canada will become bearable. Wow, this video became too long, but I just wanted to share my experiences with you guys. So do we like it here in Canada? Are we going to go back to the Congo? I don't think so. because Canada has met our expectations and we are content, we are grateful. We haven't made it yet. We haven't achieved some of the goals that we are pursuing yet, but we are grateful and content for where we are right now. In our Christianity language, we say Ebenezer, that's far the Lord has taken us to. So we are always grateful and we appreciate what God has done for us. See you in my next video, guys. Take care.